everyone, welcome to Watercolor Wednesday. I am Bonnie Krebs, creator of Watercolor the Art Impressions Way, and we are starting week 4 of Christmas. So we're going to do another Christmas project this week. They're so fun to do, and actually this project is from a Christmas set, Watercolor Series 4, and it actually comes with 2 different sets like this. So we're going to spend a couple of weeks on these. I get asked for these all the time, so I'm going to spend a little time on these projects so that I can show you how to put these together. So we're going to start out with set 1 this week. This is the little Santa, or excuse me, not the Santa, the Snowman and the little birdhouse. So we're going to create this little snowman. He's super cute to do and super easy. So in addition to this little guy, we're only going to need a couple of other things. So we're going to use the tiny little flowers from the Blooming Birdhouse set and the tiny little foliage right here. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to start by inking the little snowman. So we're going to use the 86. We use that for snow, things that are bright white, so like snow. We're going to start with the 86. And we're going to ink the basic areas of the snowman. So his scarf, all the areas where there's snow. So around his little face here, we're going to get all of these areas right here. And then we're going to come back in with the sepia. And the sepia we're going to use on the arms. So the little stick arms here, we're going to get these with the sepia. This one over here. We're going to do the eyes, the nose, and the mouth. And then all the little buttons down here. So we're going to get all of these little things here. Okay, and then when we get to the hat, we're going to leave part of the hat off. So we're going to leave this little hat band off because we're going to add another little detail on here. So we're just going to do just around the edge. I love this about using stamps because we can just use the parts that we want. Makes them so much more versatile to use. Okay, so we've got our little guy all stamped here and ready to go. So let's start out by pulling the color out of the lines. So we're going to start with the areas that are sepia. So in the little guy here where his eyes are, when you pull that color out of the lines, make sure you leave that highlight. You'll lose all the life of the character if you don't put that highlight in there. So don't color those eyes all in dark. Make sure you leave that tiny little highlight in there. And you don't have to do much, especially with these little stick arms. We want to see the detail on there, so we don't have to get a lot of water on those. So my brush is pretty dry. Okay, that's all we're going to do at this point. We're going to take our mask pen now. So we're going to use the Molotow mask pen, and we're going to put some snow in here. So in the background, we're going to put a lot of these little dots. I love this little pen. It works so well, super easy to use. And you just kind of tap in these little dots. Just wherever. Okay, so I'm going to pause here for a second and let that dry, and I will be back in 5 minutes. Okay, I'm back and my masking fluid has completely dried. So now I'm going to start adding some color into the background. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to pull some of this color now from the lines and we're going to drag it to the outside. We want this little snowman to be really white. And so we're pulling this color out now just with the water and we're dragging it to the outside. So this is the color now that we've stamped the little snowman in. So the blue, the African violet, and now I'm dragging this color to the outside. So just pull some of that color out of the side of the snowman here. And just brush this color in. Super easy. Drag it from the little scarf. And all in here. You can always add more color here. So let's just add a little bit more around the hat because remember we stamped the hat in the sepia, so we don't have any blue in those lines. So let's just take some of this now and just brush in a little of this blue up here. And that masking fluid is going to protect all those areas, so we're going to be able to see our snow in the background. Don't touch the little arms. Try to keep the color away from there. We don't want that sepia to bleed. So just keep that color concentrated away from those little arms. Down in here, you can pull some of this color down. And all in here. Okay, that looks pretty good. We are about ready to go on. Okay, so let's do the little detail in the hat. Let's pull some of this color out of the lines now from the hat and leave this highlight here on the side. We don't want to color all of this in. We're going to put a little detail right in here. So we're going to use those little elements, so the tiny little flowers, and we're just going to ink a couple of them. So we're just going to ink a couple of these little tiny flowers from this little flower set. And we're just going to kind of go around in a circle, just a little bit like that. And then we're going to take the little foliage now, and we're going to stamp it on the side. And a little bit up above like this. Don't overthink this, and don't stress out about this. This is the easiest thing to do. So start with the red and really wash your brush off because we're just coming out of that red. It can be so dark. And we'll just add a little water now to the green. And let's go back here and just put in a few little red dots. Okay, so we've got our little decorative holly on here. So let's go on to the little scarf now. And we're going to actually drag some of this color out now from the top. And keep cleaning your brush off because we don't want to get too much color in here. We don't want to just saturate this little guy. So we're going to pull some of this color out now from here. And just bring a little bit down. Even though the snowman is white, he's still going to have some color on him because anything that is white is never uncolored. It's always going to have a little color. That would be the shadow color. So we've got to show that, otherwise it looks flat. And we don't want anything to look flat. So let's just pull a little more of this color out. And you can see I'm kind of concentrating it more on one side because this is the lighted side here. It looks like he's looking up. So the area that he's looking, the direction he's looking, that should be the lightest area because you always want his face to be light. You never want to color around the eyes. That dulls the character. So whichever direction he's looking, make that the light area. And really keep that lit. And then just pull some of this color out. That means this side back here, this would be the darker area. And let's just put a little shadow under there. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let's add some color now. So let's add some color to the scarf. This is the number 15 green. So we're just going to take a little of this color. Let's add some color to the headband, the hat band. In here just like this. And then a little bit to the scarf. So remember, you want to stay in the lines. Stay inside the lines when you go to add color. See this horizontal line on the scarf. Don't cross over that. Leave those little white areas. That makes a huge difference. We'll just finish coloring all this in here. And let's do another little detail. Let's add just a little bit of red so we can put a little color into his cheeks. Clean your brush off really well. And just take a tiny little bit. We don't want to overdo this pink. And just brush that in really light. Super easy and cute. Make sure if you did not get these dark enough that you go back in with a fine tip. It's really important that these areas, especially where the eyes are, these are really dark. And make sure you leave that little highlight. You'll lose the life of the character if you don't leave that little highlight in his eyes. And then go back here and really darken in here this detail. Okay, so we're about ready to rub off our masking fluid so that we can see our snow in the background. And we can see that that's protected all of our white areas. So our little guys come to life here. So let's just add a little glitter. I hope you can see this on the video. This is a little Week of Stella pen. So this is just a clear. And just add a little sparkle to these things. This makes such a difference. And the really neat thing about the Wink of Stella is that it is water soluble, so it will saturate your ink and blend it. And it really adds a lot of detail to do that. Especially where the snow is, you want to get a lot of glitter in there. And here on his cheeks, into the hat. You can just about put it anywhere. And it will just really blend these colors together. Add a little more to the snow down here. And especially around the eyes. This will really light up his little face. Okay, looks pretty good. We are about finished with this little guy. So make sure you sign and date. Mount it on a card. Put it in a frame. Make it a special Christmas card to someone that you love. And give it away. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week.